Happy New Year. I am so excited to be practicing with you today. If you have listened to the meditation that accompanies this month's offerings, you'll know that we're focusing on our first chakra. This is the root chakra, and it's especially important to promote a sense of groundedness and calm. And when it's in imbalance, we experience fear and anxiety and tension and a feeling of like untetheredness. And so today's flow is going to be focusing on some poses that are specifically tied to the root chakra and also just promote that same sense of calm. I thought this was a great way to start the year, start from the ground up, so to speak, and I hope that you enjoy it. So throughout today, we will be focusing on that grounded feeling and some of that stillness and centeredness that is associated with the root chakra while still moving. This is going to be a little bit more active than some of our previous flows, but a sense of stillness and calm can go with you, and I hope that this flow shows you that it can go with you even when you are still moving. So we'll be working with the Adi Mudra. This is a mudra that is associated with that root chakra, and it promotes a sense of stillness and stability. So to find that mudra, we will tuck our thumbs and fold our four fingers over. So this is Adi Mudra, and I know that even just the way that it feels in my hands feels particularly calming, particularly grounding even. So if you want to find that, and place your palms either with your palms facing down or up, either way, and close down the eyes, and we'll just tune into our breath. And as we tune into our breath, just noticing our inhales and exhales without changing the pace or counting or restricting, just noticing. And as you notice, pay attention to all the points of your body that meet the floor. Your seat or your thighs, maybe the tops of your feet. Just begin to tune into that connected, earthy, grounded experience. And just notice the earth supporting you. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling grounded, feeling calm. And we'll take 3 more breaths on our own. And when you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. Welcome to your practice. We'll start by finding a seated twist. So reach your arms up and twist to your right. Right hand goes behind your spine, allowing your spine to grow tall and long, and your left hand can rest on your knee or thigh to allow your chest to spiral toward your right. Dropping our right ear to right shoulder, feeling that lengthening along the left side of your neck, and playing with any direction here that might feel good. Maybe you drop your chin, maybe your chin wants to spin open or out or up, but just creating a little sensation along the left side of your neck. And finding Adi Mudra in the left hand, placing that on your heart while still maintaining that same orientation through your chest and spine. on your next inhale, reach your arms back up through center. And we'll find that same twist to your left. Left hand comes behind your spine. Right hand rests on the outside of your left knee, gazing over your left shoulder. Dropping left ear to left shoulder. And noticing any similarities or differences about the sensation along the right side of your neck this time. Dropping your chin or lifting it. And taking Adi Mudra and placing that fist at your heart center with your right hand. And on your next inhale, reach both hands up toward the sky. And on an exhale, pull a prayer through to your heart. And we'll meet in Child's Pose. Child's Pose is a pose that is specifically connected to our root chakra. Taking knees wide and allowing your belly to drape in between your legs. Once again, noticing all the points of contact on the ground, your fingertips and your forearms, your shins and your toes, your forehead, but really tuning into the connected, grounding experience of this pose. And we'll stay here for 5 more breaths. One last breath. And as you exhale, press yourself up into tabletop. Coming onto all fours. And continuing to wake up your spine with some cat-cows, maybe a shake of the tail, some barrel rolls through your chest, allowing your body to come online. Any pops and cracks are just fine. Finding stillness and tucking your toes and lifting your knees up off the floor, activating your core. And when you're ready, press your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog, our first down dog of the day. Once again, noticing all the points of contact with the floor. We should just have 4 right now. The balls of our feet and our toes and our palms and fingertips. But really imagine gripping down toward the earth in this pose. And when you're ready, look forward between your 2 palms and slowly tiptoe your way up to the front of your mat between both palms. And exhaling, let your head hang heavy. Arms can drape alongside or grab opposite elbows and allow your spine to release long down toward the floor. Breathing here for a few breaths. A generous bend in your knees really allows your spine to release. And on your next inhale, press your palms to shins, lengthening through your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up through center, long through your side body. Exhale, mountain pose, taking Adi Mudra once more and allowing your hands to come alongside your hips, closing down the eyes and noticing that same sense of earthy, grounded stillness. For 5 breaths. Tuning into that space at the bottom of our spine, our tailbone where the root chakra is located. Breathing into that space, finding one more breath. And on your next inhale, reach your arms back up toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant your palms and step one foot back and then the next, coming into high plank. Turning on our core. And on your next exhale, release your knees, shift your hips back, finding child's pose. We'll move through that same cycle twice more, just turning everything on, waking our bodies up, warming our bodies up, pressing into all fours tabletop. If you'd like to just close your eyes and move through this flow on your own, I fully encourage you to do that. You can listen to the sound of my voice, or you can just move as your body wants. Tucking our toes and shifting our hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog here, sinking one heel and then the next into the mat, lengthening through your hamstrings and your calves. Then finding stillness and gazing in between your palms and tiptoeing once more, noticing all the points of contact each time you take a step. Coming to the top of your mat and relaxing into a forward fold, generous bend in your knees, releasing your spine. And let out an audible exhale here. Let something go. Once more, audible exhale. Releasing the hands, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up toward the sky. Long through your side body. Exhale, release into mountain. Grounding down. Notice a sense of heaviness in your feet as the rest of you grows up toward the sky, long through all of your body. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant your hands, step one foot back and then the next, coming into high plank. Inhale. Exhale, release your knees, sink your hips back, finding child's. A few rounds of breath here. Coming back up into all fours, tucking our toes, hips up and back, stumbling on my words, looking up toward the top of your mat. Travel any way you'd like to the top of your mat, feet hip width distance apart, knees are bent, releasing in a forward fold. Letting everything go that no longer serves you. Halfway lift. And release. Arms sweep up. Exhale, mountain. Arms reach toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, long through your spine. And release. Hands plant, feet step, high plank. Exhale, release into child's. Once more, noticing where all the points of your body are making contact with the floor. Pressing through your hands, all four tabletop. Moving along as we flow and grow our practice. Tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Paddling out your dog and grounding through your left foot. Right foot reaches up, three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Round through your spine, step your right foot in between your palms. Lower your left knee, untuck your toes, arms reach up. Allow your hips to sink heavy, long through that left hip, extended through the sky or through your spine, reaching toward the sky. Inhale, exhale, shift your hips back halfway, half splits. Flexing your right foot, keeping your hips square. Blocks are great here. We'll be here for a few breaths. So if you have blocks, grab them now. Brings the floor a little closer so that we can continue to keep the spine as neutral as possible. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. This pose is also connected to our root chakra. Notice any sensation along the back of your extended leg. One more inhale and one more exhale. Plant your right foot, removing any props. Plant your hands, tuck your left toe, knee comes up off the ground. Inhale, and as you exhale, step toward the top of your mat, releasing into a forward fold. Inhale and halfway lift. Exhale, release. Arms reach up, gaze up, exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, meeting in high plank. And if you have a vinyasa in your practice, feel free to practice that now. Otherwise, lower your knees and bringing your elbows alongside your chest, lowering in one straight line all the way to the ground, releasing your chest toward the ground. Inhale, up dog or cobra, gazing forward, shining your heart forward. Exhale, release. Shift your hips back towards child's pose. And on your next inhale, meeting in tabletop. Tuck our toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Finding that same flow on the other side, grounding through your right foot, left foot sweeps to sky. Inhale, and on your next exhale, pull your knee to nose, stepping left foot in between your hands, releasing your right knee, untucking your right foot, reaching your arms up, long through your spine, allowing your hips to sink. Sensation through the front of your right hip, stretching, reaching toward the sky. Exhale, plant your hands, shift your hips back, half splits. Finding those props once more so that we can find some length through our spine. If at all possible, we want to avoid the hunched spine or curved spine. Instead, really find some broadness, brightness through your chest, length through your spine. 3 more breaths here, noticing any similarities or differences on this side as opposed to the other. This side is a little bit looser for me. My right side was real tight. 1 more round of breath. Exhale, remove any props. Plant your left foot, plant your hands, tuck your right toe, and coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, arms reach toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Finding a high plank here. Moving through any vinyasa or lowering knees, chest and then chin. Release all the way to the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Heart shines forward. Exhale, release. Shifting our hips back, finding child's here. And just settle in, noticing your breath. Mine is a little quicker, having just moved a little bit, and that is okay. We're just noticing. Coming into all fours tabletop, tucking our toes, shifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Plant through your left, reach your right, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up through center, long through that right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Once more. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step through. Plant your right foot, keeping your left toes on the ground, and we'll build our high lunge. So keeping that same orientation in our legs. Really find a rooted, grounded experience in this expression. Reaching up through center, high lunge, settling in. Once again, noticing the earth support you. Inhale, and on your exhale, sink a little lower. Opening up, finding warrior 2. Spin your back foot down so that it's parallel to the short edge of your mat, and your right heel intersects your left foot, reaching north and south on your mat. Warrior 2. This is such a fierce pose, and this warrior pose is said to embody a sense of fearlessness, and that feels applicable to today's practice. Inhale, flip your front palm, reaching up and back, reversed warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Stepping back, finding high plank, moving through any flow of your own. And meeting in child's once more. Moving through that on the other side, coming into tabletop, tucking our toes, downward facing dog. Reach through the left toes. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog once more. Exhale, stepping through to plant your left foot in between both palms. Building our high lunge from the ground up. Stability through your feet. Finding a settled experience through your hips. Reach your arms up. High lunge. Inhale and exhale. Sink a little lower. Open up, find warrior two on the other side. Back heel spins down, lengthening through your spine and then through your arms, north and south. Release anything that's no longer serving you. Flip that left palm, reaching forward, up and then back, warrior, or reversed warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame that front foot, stepping back into high plank. One round of breath. And on your exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Finding any heart opener of your choice, up dog or cobra, shifting your hips back into child's pose. Oh, take an audible exhale. Building on once more, shift forward, all four tabletop. Tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Grounding through your left foot. Right knee or right toes come to sky, right knee to nose, step through. Feet should continue to be hips width distance apart, like you're on a railroad track rather than on a tightrope. Finding stability here. Reach up, high lunge. Inhale, exhale, sink a little lower. Opening up, warrior two once more. Energetically shooting both hands out north and south. Flip that front palm, reach forward, out, releasing to an exalted warrior. Straightening through your front leg, finding a triangle pose. Great opportunity for blocks. I always use blocks, triangles. So straightening through that right leg, and it's as though you are between two panes of glass. That's how our body should be oriented. So with both legs straight, oh, here's Lola. I like to keep a block on the outside of my right leg so that my chest can really spiral open, reaching your left hand toward the sky. Triangle, Trikonasana in Sanskrit. Breathing here, noticing the sensation along your left side body and your right inner thigh. What are we gonna do with you, girl? My poor cat is so senile. Bending through that right leg. And now you can use whatever orientation your right hand wants to. You can take a block here for extended side angle. I like to have my forearm rest on my knee. This is extended side angle. So arms come first up and then out toward the front of your mat so that you create one long line from left foot through left fingertips. One round of breath. Exhale. Cartwheel open to find warrior two. Long through both arms. And on your next inhale, flip your hand, reversed warrior. Long through that right side body. Cartwheel your hands to frame your foot, spin your back foot. Oh. And coming into high plank. Inhale, exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, or one line all the way down. Heart opener of choice. Sinking your hips back, child's. Just a little bit more work. We have to go through that same flow on the other side. Coming into tabletop, tucking our toes, finding downward dog, grounding through your right foot, left toes to sky, Left knee to nose. Exhale, plant your left foot in between both hands. High lunge. Setting up for high lunge. Feet are on railroad tracks. Inhaling, arms reach up. Exhale, sink a little lower. Open up, find warrior two. Here she comes again. Long through both arms. Embody fearlessness here. A few more rounds of breath as you let that sturdy, stable, fearless quality wash over you. Flip that front palm, reverse your warrior, long through your left body. And exhaling, coming into triangle on the other side, straightening through your left leg. Any props here are great. Keeping your right hip tacked as far back as you can to allow your chest to remain long, spiraling open. Just breathe. Gaze can come up toward your hand here as it reaches toward the sky. And extended side angle, bending through that left knee. Any props that might work for you, or allow your left arm to rest. And we're not dumping in to our knee. It's a real gentle rest to just kind of allow for enough leverage to spin your chest open. Right hand towards sky, and then reach your right hand toward the front of the room, long through your right side body. Inhale and exhale. Come back up into warrior two, pressing through your feet, keeping that same orientation of your legs. Inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior, and cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. And instead of stepping back, we're actually going to step forward into Malasana squat. So step your right foot up to the front of your mat and keeping a really wide stance here. I always use a block to come into yogi squat, sinking your hips down so that your knees splay outward. Whatever orientation here that feels good. Sinking as low or as high as it might work for you. This feels good to me here. Here, I will do this facing you to kind of show you what we're looking at. Pressing both elbows into the inseams of both legs. And just settle. The sensation along both inner thighs here. It is said that this would be a great resting position. I disagree. This is not a resting position, though with a prop, it is a whole lot more restorative than without. And any amount that might feel good. When I'm really warmed up, it actually does feel pretty good to sink even lower in my hips. And the lower I go, I get a sensation along the outside of my hips too. 2 more rounds of breath. Long through your spine. And when you're ready, release your hips back up toward the sky, forward fold. Draining your brain. Head is heavy, knees are bent. Ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows once more.
Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant your hands and step one foot back and then the next. And if you would like to flow, by all means, flow once more. Heart opener of your choice. And coming into child's pose. Oh, and releasing. Our hips are really opened up, really warm right now. So this might feel extra restorative rather than kind of tight through your hips. You really might feel a sense of ease as your hips sink toward your heels. Five more unhurried breaths here. Any noises of release that might be calling your name, feel free to explore that. Maybe it's a sigh or a moan or maybe a hoarse flutter of your lips. And coming up to find a comfortable seat, shifting to one side or the other and extending your feet. We'll find half butterfly. So bringing your right foot into the inner seam of your left leg. Grow tall through your spine and orienting so that your chest shines over your left leg. Reach your arms up and fold over that left leg. If blocks or props would be good here. I know sometimes I just like to release my head on a block like this. It becomes a lot more restorative. It's bath time. It's not bath time. She thinks it's bath time. This is a real grounded pose as well. And when we make it restorative by finding our edge and just staying there, it becomes it can become a really comforting pose as well. What would you like to release today? I'm releasing all of my self-imposed expectations, or at least I'm trying. Let's take 5 more unhurried breaths. And slowly walking our hands back toward our hips. lengthening through the spine, removing any props, and placing your right hand behind your spine, pressing up, stargazer. This is a beautiful counterbalance, long through all of the places that were crunched in that last pose. Rotating your left hand and arm one direction and then the next, and allowing your hips to sink back toward the earth. Setting up on the other side, right leg extends, left foot comes to right inner thigh, orienting our chest so that it faces over your extended leg. Reach up and extend over that right foot, finding any props that you want. Ooh, this one is tighter on me. Who knew? Usually I'm tighter on my left side. Any little wiggles that you need to get out, feel free to find them, and then ask your body to just find stillness. Even if the wiggles are calling your name, can you be still? And now if it's pain, please move. No pain. But if it's just the wiggles, just stay with those wiggles. Noticing your breath. How has it changed? Five more breaths, unrush. And beginning to walk our chest back upright. We'll find stargazer on the other side, placing your left hand behind your hip and reaching your hips forward, taking any rotations clockwise and counterclockwise with that right arm. And settling your hips back. pose. If you have any props, I encourage you to use them so that this becomes restorative. If not, no worries. Restorative is in some ways a quality that is about our mindset rather than the poses that we're doing. So planting both feet below your knees and walking your heels back a little bit so that the tips of your fingers can graze your heels, planting through your feet and coming up just one vertebrae at a time. Bridge, and this would be the moment for your props, sliding a block or a pillow or bolster underneath your hips, underneath your sacrum, which is the sort of backside of your hip bones, not on your low back. We definitely don't want the props on your low back in case that creates a curvature of the spine that is uncomfortable. So find a place that feels really stable with your props under your supporting your sacrum. This gentle heart opener. It's such a beautiful way to end our practice. Closing down the eyes and tuning back into our breath once more. Allowing your hips to release if you're holding any tension there. Three more breaths. And pressing into your hips, into your feet so that you can lift your hips just enough to remove your prop and slowly, slowly, slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. And finally releasing your hips all the way to the floor, windshield wipering, that's a strange word. Strange verb, windshield wipering your legs to the left and right to release any tension in your hips. And if you are feeling called to explore any poses, maybe a happy baby or a butterfly pose, feel free to explore that now. And if you are ready to rest like I am, get really comfortable. And I am going to invite a block to rest on your pelvis, that same root chakra center, just so that you are aware of this part of your body and you feel a sense of stability there. Shavasana it's definitely the most important pose in all of our yoga sequences, but it might be the most important for a sense of groundedness. Releasing anything else that you brought with you that no longer serves you. Shavasana. Beginning to deepen your breath, noticing the rise and fall of your chest. And breathing a little bit of life back into your fingers and toes, wiggling through those fingers and toes, and rolling through your wrists and ankles, slowly coming back online. Finding one side to roll onto. And just pausing for a moment. Pressing ourselves back up to sit. Whew. I needed to move and I had no idea. I was resisting it all day and I feel brand new. The power of movement. Closing down our eyes once more and finding that Adi Mudra, thumbs tucked into the center of your palms, fingers wrapping around your thumbs. A sense of stillness, calmness, support, and ease. What a difference a little bit of tender self-reflection can make. Thank you so much for tuning in and practicing along with me today. The light in me bows in utter reverence to the light in each and every one of you. Satnam. Have a wonderful day. And you have a wonderful day. Oh, so sleepy. And you have a wonderful day. Take care.